Formal and established organizations are not the only entities that rely on technology to carry out their daily routines of service or product delivery. Technology, specifically in the form of mobile phones, seems to have creeped into the information processing or management tasks of much smaller businesses, informal businesses.
These small businesses are among the most important and numerous forms of employment anywhere in the world, probably just behind family farms as a source of livelihood for families in the developing world. They're, by small enterprise, by micro enterprise, we mean the tiniest firms in the world, so self-employed, a half-time thing running out of somebody's house, a little stall that sells groceries, or a guy who does electrician work and on contract, that kind of thing. And there's millions and millions of them in most of the developing countries in the world. They were, after the business elites and the big guys, some of the first people in countries to recognize the clear value of mobile phones for their work processes. So they kind of lined up and got them very early, and now penetration is already quite high. That means the voice call for small firms, and to a lesser extent text messages, have let them really be more productive during the day. So one of the questions that comes up when we talk about mobile use by small enterprises is some have it as a question, some have it as a hope that all of a sudden the rules of business will change and people will do business just via the the mobile phone. And I'd say it may be a little premature for most businesses most of the time to think about replacing their face-to-face interactions with mobile interactions. Businesses are corner stores, and they're in neighborhoods. If you're a fix-it business, on a motorcycle fix-it shop, for example, you're actually in a neighborhood with 20 other guys who also fix motorcycles, and that's just the way the urban spaces are organized. And most of your business, for most of these guys, is still by walk-in. It's still face-to-face, and that doesn't mean that the mobile's not important. It allows those businesses to kind of happen. Maybe a call in advance saying, "Hey, I'll come down tomorrow. Can you order me a part?" But that's very different than only ordering the part online and only using the mobile phone to find a new mechanic or something like that. I met a baker in Kigali who had previously gotten by just making samosas for his neighborhood. Every morning he'd get up and he'd kind of make a few, and he had one employee that would help him, and then they'd go around and deliver the samosas to a few shops that would sell them. A few years ago, he bought a mobile phone for the first time, and now he had a number where his customers could reach him. And he found it helped him in two ways. The first is it increased the reliability of his orders in his kind of core samosa business. So he said he ended up selling about 30% more samosas over time because he had the mobile phone and he could take orders. The second thing is he actually got into a second line of business, making wedding cakes. And for that, he'd get orders from all around the country, coming out from outside of Kigali, people calling ahead and saying, "Make me a wedding cake." And that's a business that he could only do because he could coordinate things at a distance.